Hello everybody, welcome to another Journal with Me video. In this video I'm going to be working on some of the week 1 prompts from the Halloween Journal Challenge 2023 hosted by Kia Creates. If you are unfamiliar with the challenge, I will leave info and links and stuff at the top of the description box. Pretty self-explanatory what it is. There is also with this challenge a new video every day by a different YouTuber for each separate prompt. I am taking part of that, but this is not that video. My video for one particular prompt is going to be on the 13th, or Friday the 13th actually. This is just me playing around in my journal. This is not my quote-unquote official video for this challenge. I also want to explain at the beginning here, just so I don't disappoint anyone, because it will say week 1 in the title somewhere. When I work on journal challenges with daily prompts and everything, I do not do them in the typical way. I do not do a prompt a day. I find it too overwhelming. I cannot find the time to do it, and it's just not the way my brain works. So what I do instead is I sit down for 1 or 2 journaling sessions and pick out some of the prompts that I like or particularly speak to me in that moment. So I am not going to do days 1 through 7 of prompts in this video. I'll read out all of them to you so you know what they are and then tell you which ones I'm going to do. So for week 1 we have title page, autumn vision board, fortune teller, spooky cinema, in the attic, myths, legends and tales, and haunted coffee shop. And the 3 that I'm going to work on in this video is autumn vision board, myths, legends and tales, and haunted coffee shop. Now, this is not to say that these prompts are better than the other ones, or like I disliked some of the other prompts. It's, as I said, just whatever spoke to me in that moment, whichever one I read and particularly inspired me. So, to be clear, I'm only doing 3 of the prompts because that's the way I work. I'm also getting a little more arty in this video than I do in my regular videos. It's been a goal of mine to get a bit more arty in my journals because I do draw, I do, paint and make art, I suppose. You see them in my stickers and things I sell in my shop. Most of them are my own original designs. So I'm like, why don't I do this in my own journal? So for this autumn vision board page, I decided just to draw out a couple of designs. I did a pumpkin, a mushroom and an autumn leaf using my Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils and just playing around with them. I know they're not great. I am out of practice. I do most of my drawing on Procreate these days, and yeah, I'm out of practice with doing physical things, but they'll do. I just wanted to do something cute. I did the mushroom and the pumpkin on craft paper, and I really like the way that looks, especially the white on the craft. I brought in a Posca paint pen to do some of the little dotty bits on the mushroom, and yeah, that's it, just making my own little ephemera, really. I wasn't sure when editing this video about how much of the arty stuff to leave in, about drawing and colouring the various elements. Like, how much do people want to see? Do they want to see a proper start to finish? Are they not interested at all? Like, I hope I found a good balance between those 2 things, but if you want to see more, if you want to see less of processes like that, then please let me know in the comments. So I had some bits and pieces I pulled out from one of my junk drawers. A lot of pieces are from some Daphne's Diary products from years and years ago that I had cut up and put in a drawer to use and have been sitting there ever since, really. So I played around with those, but decided there needed to be something else going on the pages. So I took this Autumn Leaves stencil from Tim Holtz and using Distress Oxide ink and some blending brushes, adding those leaves onto my pages. As you can see, I kind of overlap the colours. I really like the way that looks. The colours I used are, where is my list? I wrote a list. Here it is. I dropped the list. Anyway, colours are Wild Honey and Aged Mahogany. Love the way those look. There are better, more autumny, orangey colours, I think, in the Distress colour lineup, but I don't have many of the warmer colours. I'm more of a cool colours and grey girl myself. But anyway, I also needed to bring in a brown to go around a lot of the elements going down onto the page, and went for what I thought was the autumniest brown that I could find, which I have in my collection anyway, which is brushed corduroy. I do understand that technically a vision board is supposed to be like a Pinterest worthy, things I want to achieve in this season, things I want to do, I couldn't be bothered to do that. I just wanted to make a page full of autumnal kind of things. So that's what I'm doing. This little lady here was from like a Daphne's diary from like 2017, which I only used for a quarter of the year, then kept all the pages because they were pretty. Anyway, she's wearing, I think it's technically more wintry, but autumn reminds me of the fact that I can start wearing warmer clothes again, and that makes me happy. So I thought I would include her, then add all my little various elements, some that I, made at the beginning of this video, and some from my own collections. I'm bringing in my autumn collection, my books and tea collection, and the moths one as well. I thought books and tea because, I don't know, just cozying up with a book in autumn makes, just the idea of it makes me feel happy. But the teacups in that collection are probably a little bit summery. Maybe I need to do some more muted colour teacups and things, but I toned it down with some more of the brush corduroy distress oxide, and I think that works. I also wanted to add one of my little journal fold stickers from the books and tea collection. These are those ones where you can fold the sticker in on itself to make a little thing that was sort of opens on your page, and it's like a little teeny mini little book. Not my original idea, by the way. People have been doing this for ages and ages and ages, so just wanted to clarify that. And yeah, as I said, I'm going to finish off by adding lots of stickers and elements from my own autumnal line, if you like. And that's pretty much all I do to this page. I will go in with a brown Stabilo all pencil around the edges of some of the pages. It just gave it a little bit more depth that was needed for me. And I think that's pretty much everything I have to explain for these pages. While I have a minute before we get on to the next page, I just wanted to explain something quickly that has happened in my Etsy shop. Basically, Royal Mail have upped their prices for the second time this year. They usually do it once a year. They did it twice this year. And they raised the price of basically the most common thing I send out by, I can't remember what percentage it works out as. It's something like 35 to 40%, which is obviously a big blow to me. I can't afford to swallow that price rise and not increase it in my shop. So what I had to do is separate collections, as it were. So where I have ephemera and stickers and journal cards and everything, sticker sheets have been separated from everything else because they are much, much cheaper to send. So that's what's going on in my shop at the moment. It's a pain, I know. Postage is something that is driving me crazy, and I could go on a very, very long rant about Royal Mail and privatisation and things, but I won't because I've started the next page now. So this is the haunted coffee shop prompt. What I wanted to do is, many of you have probably seen, there is a trend online, Instagram, TikTok, etc., with adding ghosts to paintings. Like, people pick up very cheap paintings from charity shops or thrift stores and then pull them out of the frame and then add little ghosties and spooky things to the painting. I think it's awesome. So I went through lots of old magazines and stuff to see what I could find that was even vaguely coffee shop-ish. This was the one thing I could find. It's more of like somebody's house with a dining table set out, but it's close enough. And I'm going to do that same thing and paint a little ghosty in the background to make it, haunted. So he's a very, very simple shape. And then I did a couple of layers of white acrylic to make him opaque, and then did some grey for, like the folds in the sheet. It's not great, my little ghosty. He's not the best, but it is my first time doing this. Some of the ones you see online are amazing. Oh, I did some little spider webs as well with the excess grey paint that I had. But yeah, I am aware he's by no means a very good looking ghost, but he is quite clearly a ghost at the same time. So it will do, and I just wanted to have a little go at this trend, because why not? I probably made him a little bit too big as well, but it's fine, it's fine. Adding in his little eyes there, or little, I probably did them a bit too big, but again, who cares? And then I added a little bit of depth to the the background, just adding, again, using a Stabilo all pencil, this time in black. Again, I always need to add a little more something, or it just looks too plain to me. And then stuck it down on these pages. There was obviously some leftover space as well, so that little strip at the side I think is a little bit of Tim Holtz worn wallpaper. I found this little crow and bat in my stash of Halloween stuff. I think they are also both Tim Holtz products. And then I added some of the Tim Holtz Halloween clipping stickers just for some words on the page. The ones I went for are, I've got them over here, open day and night, all orders promptly attended to, and then the other side, he gave us a terrible scare. I suppose I was kind of going with this narrative that the coffee shop is actually run by the ghost. He's not haunting the place, he's actually running it, and he, just thought it was kind of cute. Going around those little phrase stickers, again with my Stabilo all pencil in black because I use it in everything. It really highlights the phrases that I've used and everything. And then again, I'm going around and filling in where I'd stuck things down. There were some awkward little white gaps, which I cannot abide awkward little white gaps, so filling those in as well. And then I had to have something on the edge of that page where it was white. I couldn't leave it like that, just could not, but I didn't want to colour in the whole thing black. So I pulled out these tiny little tickets, again, Tim Holtz, and just making a little border out of those, really. Why not? I have no explanation for it. I tried it and thought it worked, so there we go. And once they're stuck down, again, with the Stabilo or pencil going around the edges of those. And with that done, we're going to go to my last pages, which is the Myths, Legends and Tales prompt. I had no idea what to do with this, to be honest. Just kind of sat there. I think I was actually at first going to do Fortune Teller and then ended up doing Myth, Legends and Tales because I was looking at that page with kind of like the dark forest look and thinking about how many films from kids movies to horror movies have some sort of fortune teller persona who lives in the woods. So that's kind of where I went at first, but then it wasn't really working, so I ended up doing the Myths, Legends and Tales instead. I'm going through a bunch of sticker books I have. This is the Imaginarium one, and going through and pulling out some things that I thought would match, and then going through my Once Upon a Time DCWV paper stack. I love this so much, and pulling out kind of Myths, Legends and Tales fantasy themed paper. I loved the big window with the mountain and the castle in the background, and just I really wanted to include it. I don't know why I cut it around it in that way, because that meant that there was a big white space in the corner, but I wasn't really thinking. I was just trying to cut it in a way that you could see what it was, but also that it fit in my journal as well. I also took this sticker, this border with this kind of magical and mystical with the birds on, and added that too. I kind of ripped the bit of it I wanted out of the sticker book, but it was still too big and didn't look quite right. So very carefully using a craft knife, cut the bits of the sticker away that I didn't want to include. And also made the whole thing flow a bit better with the whole layout and the pages. Then I have pulled these two kind of spooky figures that I pulled out of the sticker book. I wanted to include this lady. I don't mind an outline on stickers or a halo on stickers at all, but when it's a different colour, that can get a bit more difficult. So I did cut that halo off because red wasn't really working with that page. And then I kind of see her as I don't know, someone hiding or running away, a cloaked figure. But this other guy or woman is kind of spooky looking. So I used my all pencil to make it more darker and more misty on the forest page, and then stuck him down on top of there. But this blank space kind of on the other page above where the castle is was bothering me, so I drew a little dragon. Just a silhouette of a dragon, because it was too intimidating to try and draw a proper dragon. I just googled dragon silhouette and vaguely copied out something that I thought would be nice and easy to do, and this one doesn't have any legs, so that makes it really easy. I am fully aware, by the way, before anyone jumps to the comments, any fellow fantasy nerds, I know a dragon without legs isn't a proper dragon. I'm aware, but there's no need to make it complicated in this situation. Anyway, spooky guy here on the right needed to be made more spooky. So I wanted to put something over him that kind of masked him a little bit, but not completely. So what I actually put on is not a hairnet, but I bought a hair piece, and that it came in that. It's like a hairnet, but a much more fragile, delicate material. I did use a white gel pen to make his eyes just a little bit more glowy before I stuck that down. I really wanted to include this where it says the forest is dark and full of magic. This is a leftover scrap from my official prompt day on day 13, which is the poison garden prompt, and I just really wanted to use it, but it was a bit bulky, so I cut it down, distressed the edges, and I think it works where it is. I also stuck it down with glossy accents because it helped to stick down that weird hairnetty material as well. Here I am. I wanted to add a quote, or it's a line, it's some lines from Lord of the Rings, but I like to pencil it out first so I know how much room it's going to take up, and then I use a Tombow, I always forget what these are called, Fude no Suke or something, brush pen to write out my quote. In case you can't read what it says, it's from Tolkien, from Lord of the Rings. I think it's from Two Towers, but I could be wrong. It's in the books, not the film. Haldir says it to Merry, I believe. Sorry, you don't care. The world is indeed full of peril, and in it there are many dark places, but still there is much that is fair, and though now in all lands love is mingled with grief, it grows perhaps the greater. And then once I've done the pen bit and it's dried enough, I will then erase the pencil lines. I added my little bats down. Those bats are from my own Gothic Halloween stickers and ephemera. I added those little butterfly stickers because I kind of wanted something tangled in that web that hides Spooky Man. And then I wanted more dragons, not technically dragons, in the background. So what I did was basically draw bat wings and then gave them a little body, like total cheat, but I think it worked nicely. And then I just needed one more thing to these pages, and I decided just a little bit of stamping would do. And I started off using a light grey ink, but you really couldn't see it, so I went in with a darker grey, and I think, yeah, that works much better. So there we go. Those are my pages for my choice of prompts from week 1 of the Halloween Journal Challenge. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out the links for the Halloween Journal Challenge, as I said, at the top of the description box, especially the playlist where there is a different video by a different YouTuber every single day for each prompt. And like if you like the sound of some of the prompts I mentioned and didn't cover, then you know there will be videos for those prompts as well. So you know, extra stuff to watch. Let me know in the comments if you are taking part in the Halloween Journal Challenge, and if you are you doing it the more traditional way of doing every prompt every day, or do you do a more dip in and out version like me? I would love to know. I think that's going to be it from me. Thank you so much again. Please leave me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Again, go check out the playlist and other links, I insist. And yeah, that's going to be it from me. Thank you so much again. Bye bye.